Hey, what's going on, everybody? Real quick, just wanted to do this quick little kind of live, well, maybe not live, but Bitcoin chart update. Looking at the chart right now, and it's kind of interesting when you look between different time frames. So I'll show you kind of in the order that I first saw. So I was over here, sat down at the computer. It just happened to be on the 30-minute from before. And I'm looking at this, and it's like, okay, like the first thing I see, it seems like maybe we got some bullish divergence going on here. Because we got the price coming down and these momentum waves coming up. And I'm like, okay, by the way, I'm going to get into this in a future video. This actually is like a little GAN box over here, but don't worry about that for the time being. Although, man, look at that. Right when it came up to that line, just cut right through. Had a little top right there, a little top right there. But again, that's for another video. So yeah, looking at this, I'm like, all right, we see a little bit of bullish divergence, even though the money flow is deepening to the red, which I'm like, okay, that's not so hot. VWAP, kind of flattening out, but not really going too far. Didn't get much of an upswing right here. So I'm like, all right, well, I went over and checked the hour, and I'm like, okay, we got a similar thing going on here. Lower lows, but higher lows down here, even though same thing. Money flow looking kind of ugly. VWAP looks like it's rolling over back to the downside. So it's a little bit conflicting. It's like, all right, well, maybe, we're just catching this a little early. Maybe that bullish divergence will, kind of come in. Maybe we'll bounce, somewhere around here, even if it takes a little longer. But if it does come down here, I'm curious to see if this momentum wave ends up breaking down, which again, if it's above this, you could still kind of call it bullish divergence. The only thing, though, is I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, from here to say where our crossover was there, 1 day 20 hours. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's like, there's a 2 day gap right there, which it's not, it's not like going from here to here, but it is a decently big gap. We did have a wave in between, which again, you could kind of say was bullish divergence, and maybe that played out in this like little V-shaped bounce back to the upside there. But coming back again, seeing on the 30s, I'm like, all right, let's jump down a couple time frames. Let's look a little closer here. Still playing out here. Money flow definitely coming back up, but as you can see right now, VWAP crossed back over, price started coming down, got a little red X, got 18 on the bearish side, looking a little strong. So I'm like, okay, we'll pull back. It'd be nice if we continued to bounce around that trend line down there, come down to the 15-minute. And you kind of see, okay, we came down, we had this little pull up, because it's not a pullback, a pull up to the upside there. And we got this little guy, which is definitely a little weakness sign that we didn't get much of a momentum wave going to the upside. RSI ever so slightly pointed up. I mean, that really could just be indicative of what we saw there and nothing much to read into. Again, money flow on this one not looking so hot. It'd be nice if we round out from the bottom here, but can't really say definitively. Again, caught a blood diamond, 16 to the downside, come down to the 12. DBSI looking ugly. Money flow a little bit better, even though curving down, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna make any kind of big swoop or something. It'd be nice if maybe there's just the last little bump coming up, because we do got a couple momentum waves angling to the upside at this point, even though we had some lower high here, had higher highs here. It's almost like a little hidden divergence thing going on. A little interesting with this dipping down below at this level, but it, like, you could say we had some bullish divergence coming through here, which almost just got invalidated at this point. And then come down to the 10-minute, my usual looking at stuff time frame here. Couple reversal warnings, trend change with the red X. Why is that? Just a minute ago I was seeing a blood diamond somewhere on those last two, but I guess it went away. But again, money flow kind of pointing down. VWAP still pretty low, but I would expect maybe to start coming back up here within, you know, the next 20 minutes or so. So it'd be nice if, even if this just pulls down, hits here, we would still be making lower lows, still technically be in the downtrend. But depending on how this plays out, you know, maybe we get just like a, almost like a little trigger wave or something, or even if we're lucky enough to turn around before we get to the zero line. But as you can see, those guys were lower, which, you know, again, it was lower here. So depending on what time frame you're looking at, you kind of get some mixed signals a little bit. You know, when you're up in the higher time frames, it seems like we're going to turn around maybe a little bit. And then as you start zooming into the lower time frames, you know, you start looking more like, well, maybe we got some more to the downside. What do we got here? Just new candle. 1811, yeah, maybe weakening, but again, we just got the candle. It's starting to come back up. But again, just because the VWAP is heading up below the zero, doesn't mean we're going to be getting green candles just yet. RSI is a little split up. You know, definitely pointing down. Maybe even a little bit further down. You know, we came below here. So we're kind of getting a new downish trend in the RSIs. It could be that, you know, because obviously every time, you know, as the market oscillates, you know, you come down, you have an up, you come down, you have an up, come down, you have an up. And typically, like when you come down, let's say you're just slightly going up but sideways, you know, that's essentially your, you know, you're up after you're down, but it's an incredibly weak, you know, uptrend. Like we're just barely getting higher lows over here until we got to here and it finally pumped a little bit, but then again continued with the sideways. So we only had this little bit of, you know, real bullish action in that one, and then we went back to down, and then we had our up. So then here again, down, up. And as they say, you know, if you have like, if you were to zoom in a lot on this, say, okay, we have an upward channel. Upward channels tend to break down. You know, downward channels tend to break up. So again, you know, we're doing our zigzag thing. So now from here, you know, we've been coming up for a little bit. I would expect a downward move. And if we are getting or continue getting bullish divergence, then the chance that it may be our last move to the downside. Question is how much. You know, we've definitely been getting bigger bearish moves than bullish moves. And if you zoom out, you know, we are definitely in a downtrend. You know, that crazy action today was kind of interesting. Of course, it always has to happen when I can't just sit there and plot it out, but hopefully be finished putting this machine together at work soon so I can actually be at the damn computer, try to get some day trades going. But hard to do when you're, you know, across the building from your desk. But that's my thought. You know, even just zooming out here a little bit, yeah, I do expect, you know, at least a decent little move to the upside here soon, but it may not be it. We may have to come into this ring, like, you know, either this line, or maybe we just kind of trickle down to like around this intersection, or once we do hit this line, I expect something to happen, whether it be, you know, heading down to the other one or riding this upward. We'll see. Either way, hey, you know, doesn't really matter. Whichever way it's going, we could work with that. Got this little fib retracement in here, and I've had this stuff in here for a while now. Matter of fact, I think, yeah, shoot, since we were back in this area, because I was looking at, got our golden pocket right here, was looking at these bounces off the golden pocket. We came down, bounced off yeah, because this is where I set the ones. All right, so no, yeah, I set this up at the end of that dip right there. And it's been kind of wild with this. You know, we came back up to, you know, this fib level a little bit, but this one hasn't really been holding as strong as it did back here, which is been volatile. We'll see where it goes, but I just wanted to do a quick little update. And, you know, the lesson in that one is, you know, watching these signs down here, wanted to do, you know, live time chart stuff going on now. It's one thing to go back into the past and show examples of things like this is one I drew when we were back here. And as you can see, you know, despite having this bullish divergence right here, you know, we came up to basically nothing. Basically nothing. I mean, like, you know, after our down, this was our uptrend, which was damn near more down than up. I mean, it was just sideways. I mean, we had a little there, but nothing to get excited about. And then, you know, as we came up, just got rejected. Big old dump. Oh, some nice relaxing rain to go to bed to. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, money flows ugly on this one. Let's see what we got here. But keep your head up. You know, obviously I'm not expecting any you know, crazy big bullish runs to the upside just yet. But we've had a lot of down lately, so once this trend does reverse, you know, it could be a good time to have a longer term you know, long position. Come back out here on the 4-hour here just to show you what I'm talking about. You know, obviously we're in this big downtrend here. Hide my ramblings. Barely anything, you know, of a reversal here of an uptrend for it just kind of not even a double top, just lower high and then back to the downside. The key thing we're looking for right here is we want to be above this low, because if we break this low right here, honestly, I'm thinking 28, which, you know, we all want it to go up, but hey, I want to get some for cheap too. So if it goes there, you won't hear me complaining. But look at this, we got 3 yellow X's. You remember the short, the 4 yellow X strategy. Could we see one more? If we do see one more, up here on the 4-hour no less, if we do see one more, we got 4 right here, but again, it stopped the downward, but didn't get much out of it. Again, you know, trend is your friend. Overall, we were in a downtrend, and this is just one section of it. But I'm kind of expecting to maybe see one more. Look at it, you know, money flow looking ugly. VWAP didn't come down terribly far, wasn't going up terribly far. It's just, you know, despite being kind of low energy, low strength, the bears have had the full court press on for a little while now. So what are our numbers looking like? 22, I can't even, was that a 21? 21, 22, 15. It's weakening a little bit. We're clipping down here, starting to round off. You know, VWAP coming up a little bit. RSIs are nice and tight together, but 24 hours left in this candle, so a lot can happen in a day. Or sorry, 24 minutes. I'm an idiot. This is a friggin' 4-hour. What am I thinking? Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at this, I would think, okay, maybe we're going to start weakening out, but yeah, doesn't mean we don't. I'd almost expect this last little leg down here. Something. Yeah, got up into the 20s, started running out of gas a little bit, but even still, you know, we had a 16 and an 8 over here. Catch a couple candles to the red side, which may even more be sideways than anything, which kind of goes back to my thoughts of maybe getting over here into this corner. Here's what we're going to do. That Okay, there it is. It's kind of big. All right. There's my random ass prediction. I say projection, but that's not. All right. Hope y'all have a fantastic one. And remember, you know, keep checking them different time frames. Because you're going to get different answers depending on which one you're at. And if you're going into it ahead of time with a bias, you are going to lean more toward the time frames that are confirming what you want to see. So remember, like that last video with the trading mindset, go in with a blank slate, go in with an open mind, look at things for what they are. You know, don't just say, well, hey, okay, that looks like, you know, bullish divergence. Okay, we're gonna turn around. We're gonna turn around right now. We're going up. Just be cautious, because there's plenty of other stuff that's looking bearish on here. Just right now, VWAP looks like it's about to cross the zero. Money flow looking ugly. Ugly. But all right, y'all have a beautiful day. Love y'all. Say hi in the comments. Say hi in the chat. For real, come on, get involved here. You know, this isn't a spectator sport. I want to hear what you guys think. What are you guys looking at? How you feeling? Where you think the price is going to? Why do you think it's going there? More importantly, you know, don't just be making wild ass guesses. You know, try to get a little technical with it. You know, give some reasons why you think it's going there. I'd be curious to hear, you know, if you got something interesting. Hey, by all means, the email's on the about page on the YouTube channel there. If you got your own little technical analysis, take a snapshot of the chart, send it to me. You know, take a look at it. Do it in a video. Kind of working up to doing live streams here. I want to get some more people, more subscribers, some stuff like that, because, you know, nobody wants to be doing a live stream with nobody watching. That's kind of stupid. So hopefully coming soon. All right. Later.